All right, what does it take to overturn a strongly held belief? All right, so let's think about this. So the law of gravity, right? This is something that was, I guess, initiated by Isaac Newton. We all heard the apple fell out of the tree, and all of us have seen. We've never dropped something and seen it fly back up in the air, right? 100% of the time in my existence, I've never seen anything to me that would defy the observation of the law of gravity, right? There is the law of gravity. However, the law of gravity is now considered a theory. Why is that? Because of Albert Einstein and his knowledge of relativity, right? This has changed our understanding and our perception. So we no longer call it the law of gravity, we call it a theory, right? So, and yet none of us have ever witnessed anything that would show us that this is not a law, right? If you think about it, when's the last time you saw something flying up in the air outside of a wind gust or something like that? But so the burden of proof is something that disputes it should be like, hey, this just doesn't work. So, but we have this sort of belief that, for instance, LDL cholesterol is causative for cardiovascular disease. No questions asked. You talk to a lot of lipidologists or cardiologists, and they'll say, this is undeniable, the science is settled, this is effectively a law. And yet, here's an example. Look at this. This is a physician, maybe a cardiologist, saying, look, I have a patient who's about to turn 100 years of age. They have familial hypercholesterolemia, super high LDL cholesterol. This is something where they use as one of the examples to show that this is why we believe cholesterol is causative, is both necessary and sufficient for cardiovascular disease. And yet he's got a patient who's 100 years of age who has FH with a documented LDL cholesterol well above 200, well over twice what we're supposed to have, right? We're supposed to have it under 100 for what many people believe. No cardiovascular disease at 100. So how many of these examples do we need to share? That sort of call into question this quote unquote law of cholesterol causing heart disease. And I am sure there are not just one or two, there are probably thousands, hundreds of thousands, perhaps even millions of people that live a long life with higher cholesterol levels and don't develop heart disease, don't die prematurely. And so you have to start to say, well, wait a minute, what's going on here? And somebody will say, well, and the guy's desperately searching for some sort of genetic, there's got to be a genetic protective factor here, right? Because my theory can't be wrong, right? Maybe this cholesterol is a dependent variable. Maybe it depends on other things. Maybe it depends on how metabolically healthier. Maybe this whole lean mass hyperresponder thing will pan out and will show that, hey, cholesterol is a problem if X, Y, and Z components are also, there. It contributes to, but may not be the main deal there. So again, my question is, how many black swans, as some people like to use that analogy, does it take to disprove a theory? In my mind, one is sufficient. One case you have to say, wait a minute, okay, let me revise my theory, right? That this is how science is supposed to work, right? But we don't live in a scientific age anymore. Science, the seeking of truth, the understanding of observations around us has now been bastardized into selling a product, basically. This is where most science, gets its funding from. This is why most science is done these days, is to sell something, right? Or to promote something or to market something. Anyway, interesting thoughts. I'll leave you with something fun to watch. We'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Yes, I just hope they have something I can eat.
What do you mean?
I'm a vegetarian.
You're a what?
I don't eat meat.
How can you not eat meat?
I just don't.
Дед, он вообще никакого мяса не ест.
Чего?
No meat.
No meat.
Steak?
No.
Chickens?
No.
And what about the sausage?
No sausage, no meat.
Дед, он говорит, что он мясо не ест.
Даже колбасу?
Да я же говорю.
Он что, больной, что ли?
What is wrong with you?
Nothing. I just don't eat meat.
Здрасте. Скажите, у вас не найдется что-нибудь без мяса?
Зачем?
Ну вот наш друг, он американец.
Сама вижу.
Да, конечно. Так вот это он мясо не ест.
Больной, что ли?
What did she say?
She says they do not have anything without meat.
What, don't they have potatoes or something?
Картошка.
Картошку подаем только к мясу.
The potatoes come only with the meat.
But can I have a potato on a plate by itself?
Понимаете, американец чуть-чуть с приветом. Можно принести одну картошку без мяса.
Добро пожаловать на Украину.
Welcome to Ukraine.